Peace and love, family. Welcome to another Truth to Power Talk with your sister, Dr.maat. But before I get started tonight, because I know a lot of you are tuning in because Lord Jamal is going to be in the building. But right now, and I'm here with my brother, DJ 5-Star. Yes. So we're going to do a rest in peace set. Before we bring on Lord Jamal, a lot of rappers have transitioned. I mean, just this past year, we lost a lot of rappers. We lost, DMX, he made his transition. Houdini, I think Houdini may have been last year or the beginning of this year, but I know we lost Houdini, we lost DMX, we lost Shock G, we lost Black Rob. And so just a lot of the people that we grew up with, DJ 5-Star, myself, and some of you, I know you 70s babies, 80s babies. And so we lost a lot of people tonight. So before we get started, we are going to have a rest in peace set before we bring on Lord Jamal. DJ 5-Star, the floor is yours.
Come on, hold on. It's almost over.
DMX, rest in peace, DMX.
DMX, what? Come on. Ain't no way you're gonna stop my flow. Ain't no way you just don't know.
Rest in peace, DMX. Whoa, no. This was flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood, family. I think 5-Star, we were either in high school or we were in college around this time.
Yep. Now, what the f is you pressing me for? I'm so more asked enough that you stressing the raw. If I was testing your jaw, maybe then you would respect me. But you can't respect me because you don't even know me. Check. I'm that that'll put you to sleep while you sleep. Big dot from 100 feet. You just knew you was creeping, but bad decisions lead to last decision. Fast condition. Now your ass is missing. Took it over there, now you bring it back to the streets. Have you forgotten what it means when a dog shows his teeth? Let me break it down for you. He's about to attack you. Still standing here, faggot. You must want me to smash. You ain't been there or done that. Cause you're telling me.
The only one in the streets with four felonies. Lord Jamal is in the building, family.
Leave alone for a little while.
We see you, Lord Jamal. We're doing a rest in peace set before we bring you on, King. See, a lot of people think because you have a PhD that you're not a hip hop kid, that you ain't come from somewhere just because you have a few letters in front of your name or behind your name.
Come on!
Turn lights away down.
Rest in peace, DMX. DJ 5-Stars on the 1 and 2.
Come on.
I think they found him down the road.
Lord Jamal, this was for you, baby.
It's like with a mad dog that was mad food. The only thing that's stopping him is you. The only thing that he'll be dropping is you.
Peace to everyone in the building. Share the show. Let them know we live, family. Rest in peace, Black Rob. Hey, 5-Star, remember we used to freestyle off of this at the rap battle.
And y'all used to kill it.
Thank you. And see, 5-Star, a lot of people don't know that side.
They don't know you was in a rap club. No. And Ray in the rap club.
Come on, 5. Rest in peace, Black Rob family. Rest in peace.
I had this bad chick uptown, she was had me messed up in the head,
Whoa.
The chick diamonds and pearls,
Whoa.
Should've seen the ice shining on the wrist.
Peace to the family. I see Nana in the building, Truth Ministries. New Black World Order.
Lost the blue strip from 210 like money wanna beat my blueprints, I'm like
Stem is in the building. Black Ace. I see you, King Simon presents.
Coming home within a half an hour like
we got Lord Jamal in the building tonight, family. Rest in peace, Black Rob.
So I rip your torso, I live the fast life. Come doing the poor
rest in peace, rest in peace. Houdini.
Like dough, like Dro, nitro, my flow, nice.
Where y'all at, family? Come on. Rest in peace, Houdini. I see you, Dayo Nature in the building, Pierre Black. Come on, y'all.
How many of us have them?
Friends. Come on.
Ones we can depend on. Friends. How many of us have them? Friends. Before we go any further, let's be friends.
The word we use every day. Most of the time we use it in the wrong way. Now you can look the word up again and again, but the dictionary doesn't know the meaning of friend. And if you ask me, you know I couldn't be much
All right,
help.
family, we got Lord Jamal in the building tonight to talk about hip-hop.
Some are okay and they treat you real cool, and some mistake you.
Come on, brand NUBIAN. What y'all know
we
about
like to be with some.
We're doing this for you tonight, Lord Jamal.
Others come around
and
and
give you
they
flowers
need
while
some
you
money.
can smell them
Some
cakes.
you up with around the way, and you're still real close to this very day.
Come on, you gotta love me, so leave me alone. Come on, family.
And then there's someone which we never knew at all. And this list goes on again and again. But these are
Shout out to
the
brand
we call
NUBIAN.
friends.
Hey, yo,
Friends.
Jamal, I got a
Friends.
girl that's
Friends.
bad.
Friends.
But she don't understand my ways. Arguing days every day. Well, I could dig it. Y'all didn't have flowers. Come on, family. We got Lord Jamal in the building tonight. DJ 5-star on the 1 and 2.
First jingle when the telephone rings. It ain't really nothing but noise. You wanna flip and lose your poise.
Prince Marky P. We got Prince Marky P.
Flip, but yo, honey, get a grip. You gotta understand, I'm a
Come
man
on, Bob.
with needs.
I see you, King.
And if you ain't with it, somebody else is with it. You gotta love me,
Leave me alone. Oh. What you know about Prince Marky P? Swing my way. See, dr.maat.msu is a hip-hop head. A lot of y'all don't know that about me. I'm a hip-hop head. Rest in peace, Prince Marky D. Rest in peace.
When you just so fly and now you're busted. Sweetheart, we got a lot to discuss, kid. Your relationship is withering. Don't walk away from me. Come hither and cause I speak straight up, so let it chat. Sorry, baby, but your man ain't all that. Before you verbally stomp me, just wait a sec and explain why you're always looking wrecked. By now, any other lady would have just had it. Looking depressed and battered. Shattered. Here's an of you two being the perfect right. Here's an ultimatum, either win it. I want you to swing my way, my way. I need you right in a flower, flower. I want you to girl. I need you to swing my way, my way. I need you to swing my way, my way. You're right in a flower, flower.
I hear you, Pop. Rest in peace to Shock G. We doing this rest in peace set. Rest in peace, Shock G. Digital Underground. A lot of y'all didn't know I was a hip hop head. Ain't gone. Hold up. We about to play that Humpty man.
Alright, stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I look funny. But yo, I'm making money. See? So yo, world, I hope you're ready for me. Now gather
Rest
around.
in peace, Shock G.
In town, and my sound's laid down.
Rest in peace to the great.
I drink a bottle of Hennessy you got on your shelf. So just let me introduce myself. My name is 5-Star. Now for the Humpty. Yo, ladies, oh, how I like to
Sound Vision.
all the rappers in the top 10, please allow me to bump thee. I'm stepping tall, y'all. And just like Humpty Dumpty, you're gonna fall.
All right, Dr. Oh Yeah, my yacht.
I like to rhyme.
That's my time, baby. When I get on this show.
Hey,
I love you, sis.
I
Anytime
love
for
you
you.
too. I love you too. Thank you so much, DJ 5-Star, for coming through. That set was phenomenal. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, brother. I love you so much.
You already know, sis.
Look at me, 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 look at me.
Let it ride.
Boom. I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom. I'm crazy. Allow me to amaze thee. They say I'm ugly, but it just don't faze me. I'm still getting in the girls' pants, and I even got my own dance.
The hump dance, the dance, the hump. What are you, y'all?
Do the Humpty Hump. Come on, do the Humpty Hump.
Come on, y'all. A lot of y'all didn't know dr.maat.msu, great hip-hop head.
Do you know what I'm doing, a Humpty Hump? Come on. Do the Humpty Hump.
All right, family. Thank you again, DJ 5-Star tonight, family. We have Lord Jamal in the building. We're going to be talking about hip hop, the history, the culture, the purpose. And I see a lot of you shouting me out. You all said we were going in. Yeah, we had to do a rest in peace set. You know, like I said before, a lot of you were just now coming in, but we lost a lot of hip hop. I'm telling you, hip hop legends, you know, this year. You know, we lost, well, I think Whodini may have been this year or last year, but we lost Whodini. We lost, not lost, but they transitioned. So you have Whodini, DMX, Prince Marky D, Black Rob, Shock G. And so we did this set tonight because I believe in giving people their flowers while they can smell them. Lord Jamal is a hip hop legend that is still among us. And so we did this for him. And we also mixed in Brand Nubian. I was getting ready to ask him to go in the crates and break out Foundations, that album by Brand Nubian, which y'all know about. I ain't even going to get into that. But family, we have to give our legends their flowers while they can smell them. So I'm going to bring on Lord Jamal in a sec, but you know I have to do my Truth to Power intro talk. So here we go. Well, intro. Oops. Where it is. It's right here.
Let's combat and fight back with maltracks. The war of the minds, they want control of the masses. And Common Core, they dumb us down in the classes. Without knowledge, we can't gain access. Build with the elders, take notes and write classes. We keep grinding on the block, how it's gonna stop? Let's start supporting our own, make their supply drop. We buy stocks, then we buy blocks. Cause we know the truth and we tuned in to Dr. Maat.
Peace and love, family. Welcome to another Truth to Power Talk with your sister, Dr. Maat. Thank you for joining another powerful discussion. And tonight I have with me another powerful guest, but he is no stranger to the community. Legendary Lord Jamal. How are you doing tonight, God?
Peace. I'm great, Queen. How are you?
I'm doing all right. We just wanted to show off a little bit because you were in the building, and
yeah, I seen y'all getting y'all was getting it on the ones and twos right there. That's what's up. I ain't know gonna have a preview like that. I didn't know I was gonna be walking into something like that, but that was nice. That was nice.
Absolutely. And as I said before I brought you on, we got to give our legends their flowers while they can smell them. We don't want to wait until they didn't transition and be on the ones and twos talking about rest in peace, Lord. We need to give you your flowers right now while you can smell them, while you can feel them, while you can touch them. And you are a legend, Lord Jamal. And, you know, a lot of people.
Hang on real quick. Proper education. Allah must correct error. I've heard you call me Lord Jamal.
No, I said Mar.
I'm not hearing the R. I'm hearing an L.
I promise you. It's that Baltimore lazy tongue. I promise you.
Say, are you from Baltimore?
Yes.
Because
it's that Baltimore lazy tongue.
Brand Nubian. When I heard Brand Nubian, I said, "Oh, she from Baltimore,
Maryland."
Baltimore.
But don't think it's Mar. Trust me. But it's that Baltimore.
Okay,
lazy.
I'm gonna chalk it up to that. But thank you, Queen.
No problem.
You know I love you.
No, love you too. Love you too. And people know I be hounding you. I come in your chat room.
Listen, I didn't know who you were at first, to be honest. Like, I'm not necessarily aware of everybody, all the personalities that's out there in the conscious community. Like, you know, a lot of times I'm just doing what I do. Like, you know what I mean? And if we have a certain resonance with each other, and we're going to be on a certain frequency, then we'll come into contact with each other at some point. You see what I'm saying? We'll be tuning into that same radio station, and we'll be able to hear and communicate with each other. So you was coming on my in my chat a lot of times, especially when we'd be speaking on, you know, health issues and stuff like that. And you acting like, yo, bring me on the joint right now. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, hold up, like, you know, I see you got doctor in front of you, but I'm not sure who you are right now.
Right.
I can't just send you a link to come on the show without vetting you first. You know what I mean? You could be anybody. You know
That's
what I mean?
a fact. That's a fact.
So, you know, upon, you know, doing more research and getting information, and I think my brother looked into you and all of that, we started to figure out who you were. And now, you know, we have, you know, shit, we're in the same movie together, right?
right. No doubt.
We I'm here. You're welcome to come on the Godcast, and yeah, we good.
Yeah, no doubt. But one thing I want to say is that you did what you were supposed to do, Lord. You vetted people, and that's the problem. We let people in without vetting them. We give them a platform, we give them a voice, and we don't vet them. So you did what you were supposed to do. I take no offense. You did exactly what you were supposed to do. And you said, let me vet this sister, because she could be anybody trolling and just trying to get on or trying to spread whatever misinformation, disinformation, whatever. And so you did what you were supposed to do. You did what you were supposed to do, and that was solid. But I wanted to talk to you about a few things, well, a lot of things tonight. Again, I want to give you your flowers while you can smell them. There won't be names called. It was a situation that you dealt with. I think it was either a few months ago or maybe a year ago, where one of our leaders was misquoted. And, and you stepped to the person and you said, look, you misquoted, one of our greats. You need to apologize. And that person, they refused to apologize. And you said, well, you know what? I'm no longer going to associate myself with you. And you haven't been back there since. And so when you did that, I said, oh man, I said, Lord Jamal, I said, he is solid. Because some people, because of the views and the type of platform, they'll sell their soul. They'll put that stuff in a black burner and they'll sell their soul. You didn't do that. And I want to thank you for that. I also want to thank you for speaking up with the with Eminem, the Eminem situation where people were saying, oh, they were crowning him, the king of hip hop, the god of hip hop, the one of the best that ever lived. And you said, wait a minute. You said hip hop is more than just putting rhyming words together, and then you started playing this audio on YouTube. And so I was so proud of you, Lord Jamal, when you stood up and you said, no, you can't crown him, the king of hip hop music. You said, because hip hop is more than just how well you can put words together. You said, what is the content? What is the message? And so again, this is a situation where, again, you're staying true to hip hop. You stayed true to hip hop when you addressed the rappers who started promoting the wearing of dresses. You were one of the people who stood up and you said, no, this is not what we do in hip hop. We don't wear dresses.
The only one that stood up.
Yeah, you were. No, you were the only one. I didn't hear any other rappers.
Yeah, I don't know who else was saying.
You didn't hear any other rappers, stand up. And so again, this is another instance where you stayed true to hip hop. And then a lot of people don't know that you brought on a lot of acts that we love. A lot of people don't even know that you were behind that. People would just say, oh, Lord Jamal, he was with Brand Nubian. But it's like, wait a minute. He did a lot of work out, with Brand Nubian, of course, but outside of that. So could you speak to the acts, Lord Jamal, that you brought on? I know one of them is, I'm sitting here thinking about him, Dayz. You brought them on. So can you talk about some of those acts that you introduced to the community?
Well, a lot of people, I had dealings with a lot of people before they got famous, but one of the first ones that I really didn't get credit for or even benefit financially from was the Artifacts. The Artifacts, I did a demo with them back in the days, and they ended up playing a demo on Stretching Bobito. And then somebody heard from a record company, heard them up there, and they ended up getting a deal off of that demo that I recorded with them in the basement or whatever that I did the beat for. But they weren't signed to me or nothing like that. And you know what I mean? I just was kind of helping them. I didn't even know it was going to go to that point, but I helped them get on. Boom. Then my next thing was Dead Prez, where I actually met them and they approached me and I started working with them. And, over a year's time, within a year, we were able to get a record deal with Loud, which was like the biggest record company, biggest independent record company at that time, Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, Big Pun, all kind of shit was on that label at that time. Yeah, so that was one of my joints, you know what I mean? That I had a hand in behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about. But yeah, Dead Prez was signed to me and I did all the executive shit on that in the beginning.
Beautiful.
Yeah, now I got an artist that I a few artists that I've been discovering recently, but got a guy named Stove God Cooks from Syracuse, New York, who just came across my table, and I just know the dope shit when I hear it. And now, most recently, if you've been listening to the Godcast, I got a snippet of a single that I did with a brother named 1159. He's from Chicago, and yeah, he's fire. And I did the beat for that joint right there, and that's somebody else that I'm bringing to the game.
Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, and it, like I said, it's a lot of like you said, you work with a lot of folks. And then I think I've heard you mention, did you work with Kanye West at one point, or you crossed paths with him?
Kanye West did the "It's Bigger Than Hip Hop." He did that beat for Dead Prez, the version that y'all know, basically, which is actually like a remix. But he did that beat before he was really known. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I've produced for a lot of people, you know what I mean? Buckshot, Black Moon, fucking Nature, fucking a lot of people. I can't even, you know what I mean?
So let me ask you this. I consider you, when I look at you, I say, oh Lord Jamar, that's a hip-hop legend. Who were your legends? You know, that you who influenced you, who would you hold dear and say, these are the legends, these are the guys I look to?
I mean, you know, from all the greats from the beginning, you know, Spoonie G, Treacherous 3, you know, especially Kumo D, the Fury 5, especially Melly Mel, and Grandmaster Flash, you know, Run DMC, LL Cool J, you know, Cold Crush Brothers, you know, the Crash Crew. Then as we come up, you know what I mean? Like King's Son, you know, Rakim, Just Ice, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, Biz Markie, you know, like all the greats, like, you know what I mean? All the Slick Rick, Dougie Fresh, all the greats, you know, up until the time that I actually got into the game of making records. And even from that point forward, like there's still people that are legends that came after me that I look to as, you know what I mean? But definitely, you know, the founding fathers. Oh, Curtis Blow.
Yes.
Fucking, you know, just the founding fathers of hip hop, the ones that, you know, I say the three main ones that made it to where you wanted to keep hearing hip hop was Kumo D, Melly Mel, and Grandmaster Caz. Like those three MCs right there took hip hop to a next level beyond the yes, yes, y'all, to the beat, y'all. You know, they really took it to the stories and just the creative side of lyricism that we know hip hop to be today. You know what I mean? And if it wasn't for those guys, not sure how far it would have went.
What about the Fat Boys? Do you think that they?
Oh, hell yeah! See,
yeah.
Hard to forget. And you played Prince Markie D earlier in the mix, and it was funny when I was listening to the record. Right, I'm like, it's because man sharpens man, steel sharpens steel. Right. So the Fat Boys are before Heavy D. Okay. But the Fat Boys influenced every fat rapper that ever lived. Trust me. Like every fat rapper that's out there looked at the Fat Boys and got inspired. Like, oh, these Fat Boys can do it. You know what I mean? Like I can do it too. So I know that Heavy D had to be inspired by Prince Markie D in a way because he was like the leader of that shit, right? But then Heavy D had his own kind of style and da-da-da-da-da. But then when I heard that single from Prince Markie D, he kind of reminded me of Hev in that record.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Did. Yes,
as if the influence is now coming back on him. But see, I know he influenced Hev, but now Hev is now influencing him. So as man sharpens man, steel sharpens steel. They're sharpening each other from the admiration of each other and it almost sounded like he made a Heavy D record, you know, when Hev was gone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, well, I could, you know, and his voice, I'm telling you, the whole style, that sounded like a Heavy D record to me.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it
you
was
know,
a
it
record.
did.
Yeah,
It did.
yeah.
It did. But it
I
was
just
like you
saw
said,
the influence. Like, yeah, I'm sure they influenced each other, and that's crazy.
absolutely, absolutely. Now, in your music, I want to bring it up to Brand Nubian. You know, especially "Love Me and Leave Me Alone." You know, that was my jam. You know, and I was, like I said, I was born in '81, so you know how old I was when you dropped the the song. But that was one of my songs, and I remember when I got older and I got introduced to the teachings of Clarence X, I went back and I was saying, hold on, what are they talking about in here? It's time for the sun and the moon and the stars, you know, check out the tunes of Lord, you know, and then you're talking about I can't mess with her if she eat the pork, and you know, so the teachings of Clarence X definitely, you know, impacted your life. It's in your music. You taught it, you promoted it. So my first question is, next question, how did you get introduced to the teachings of Clarence X, and how did those teachings impact your life?
You know, it came in steps. One of the steps was just being exposed to knowledge of Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. You know, because the lessons that we study in the 5% Nation come out of the Nation of Islam.
Facts.
So, you know, there was an older god by the name of Ba Kim who used to like just choose certain brothers in the community that he felt like he wanted to build with, like, you know what I mean? And he would like give certain people books, and you know what I mean, and let them know the science of, you know what I mean, who they was as black men in this world, and that you are God, you know, and that the black man is God. And so he's giving us books like you know, Message to the Black Man, Supreme Wisdom, Fall of America, all of these type of books that Elijah Muhammad wrote, you know. And then we're learning about Malcolm X, you know, these are now, you know, and so Malcolm X is a student of Elijah Muhammad. So we're learning about these things. But at the time I kind of felt like the Nation of Islam was a little too, you know, stringent for me, you know. I wasn't trying to put on a suit. I'm into hip hop. I'm into, you know, just doing what a young street kid want to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not ready for all of this, you know, I got to wear a suit and go do it to basically what I felt like was church. You know what I mean?
No, I get it.
Every week type of shit, and live that whole life. I was trying to get away from that. My mother was a Jehovah's Witness. And so I wasn't really trying to, you know what I mean, get into any kind of organized thing like that. But I appreciated the knowledge. So I took that knowledge and was just a 85 with that kind of knowledge. Then through hip hop, there was a brother that moved to my neighborhood. His name was True King. He just moved from Hollis, Queens, and he moved to New Rochelle, and he was into hip hop, but he was, you know, he was a 5%er. And so as we got together, you know, on some hip hop shit, he's trying to do his duty and trying to teach me shit. But then as he's talking to me, he's seeing that I already know a lot of shit from what I already learned from Ba Kim. And then he's just like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of already got knowledge in a way. Like, you might as well just, you know what I mean? Take the plunge, stop eating swine, and you know what I mean? Fucking, you know, get with this shit. And I saw, you know, he dressed like a regular hip hop dude. He cursed, he smoked weed, you know, but he had this knowledge, you know what I mean? Like, that was the discipline, like, you know what I mean? And so that was more attractive to me, where, okay, I could still get this knowledge and I ain't gotta like wear a bow tie and sell bean pies and all of that type of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no disrespect to that, but
yeah, no.
At this time, I might be like 13, 14 years old. I'm just not ready to do that, but I'm ready to do this. So yeah, you know, and I seen the gods, you know, I seen the gods around, and they just, You know, they just looked strong, and you know, it was just like, yeah, okay, let's do it. You know?
So what did that do for your life once you started learning these teachings? You're in it. How did that transform your life, your worldview, your perception, how you viewed yourself, how you viewed other people, how you viewed the world? Like, how did it transform you, or did it transform?
It was magical. It was magical. I mean, you got to understand, like, you know, most black men or young men, you know, are looking at themselves as dogs. What up, dog? You know what I mean? Like, but the Asiatic black man is a dog spelled backwards. So when you realize that you're God, like, and God is the highest level of existence, there is no higher than God. Once you realize that, it's very, very empowering. You know, it's very empowering. And I was talking about this with the young man that came on my show, Raz Fresco, and you get what's called this newborn energy. You know what I mean? Because when you first get knowledge, you're called a newborn, because you're newly born into the knowledge of yourself, you know, and you like a baby, and just like you said, you see the world differently now, you know, and you just looking around and you like, oh shit, like, you know, I didn't even realize, you know,
Yes.
you know, that I was God, and I really had control over a lot of this shit, you know, but now I know. So let's go to work.
Let's go to work.
I mean? Like, and you just be hungry to study and just to gain more knowledge.
More knowledge,
yes. You know what I
yes.
mean? And you just be digging in and just, come on, give me some more, give me some more.
Yes,
You know?
it's like an insatiable thirst for it, you know.
That's that
and
newborn energy. That's
that
the newborn energy. That's what I call it.
Absolutely. And then the more you learn that you don't, the more you learn that you don't know. You know, it's like the more you grow, the more you learn that you don't know, because knowledge is infinite. And so you're learning, you're like, whoa, I didn't know this. And then you learn something else, and then you say, oh my goodness, I didn't know this. And so it's like the more, you know, knowledge, the more you learn that you need to learn, you know, if that makes sense.
Be at degrees. There's different degrees of knowledge. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So it definitely transformed your life. And so, because so a lot of your rhymes, a lot of the music that you created, it taught the lessons, it promoted the lessons. And so do you feel like that's why you take issue with rappers who don't have any substance in their rhymes? Because you come from, you know, and I come from the era where hip hop, you know, you had a message, you were promoting something, you were promoting consciousness, you know, you were about elevating. And so do you feel like, because with your music, you had substance, and with the rappers today, and not all of them, because you do have some of them out there, some really good acts out there, but do you think that because you come from that background, when you look at what's happening now, you don't really respect it in a sense, or even qualify it as hip hop because it lacks substance?
Well, first of all, I mean, what people don't know about me too is I also come from gangster shit. Like, I come from street shit. You know what I mean? Like, I come from like worshiping street culture as well. You know what I mean? There was a time when they both were intertwined in my life. Like, you know what I mean? But later on, you know, the more knowledge conscious shit over dominated, you know what I mean? The street shit. But, you know, I still have an appreciation for street music and all of that type of shit. And we'll fool ourselves if we believe that hip hop was all about conscious shit back in my time. It wasn't. It was mad negative fucking shit. But the difference was that there was more of a variety that existed of hip hop. It just wasn't one type of, or two or three types of, there was like 6, 7, 8 different types of rappers. You had funny rappers, conscious rappers, gangster rappers, fucking, you know what I mean? Female rappers, fucking, you know, rappers from, you know, the West Coast, rappers from, you know, it was just a multitude of, and it was different personalities. It wasn't like just one type of personality that existed. Like, each rapper had his own identity and still could be super dope. Like Rakim didn't have to sound like Cool G Rap, didn't have to sound like Big Daddy Kane, but they all coexisted at the same time. They all was people that, you know, we looked up to. They didn't feel like they had to rhyme like this guy to, you know what I mean?
Right.
So today, it's not just that of it lacking substance. That's the problem. The problem is
it's uniform. Is that what you
the problem is, yeah, it's first of all, there's not enough
variety.
There's not enough originality. And to me, you know, they're actually getting away from actual rhyming, like rapping. Like these dudes are basically doing sing-songy songs. Like this is not the art of lyricism hip hop that we grew up on. And they'll say, oh, shit is evolving or whatever. That's a whole nother story.
Right.
But to me, a lot of this is not even rap. Like, you know what I mean? What they're calling rap is not necessarily rap. So yeah. Like I can't imagine some of the records of today. Like if you was just in a cipher and somebody was like, yo, spit a rhyme for me. You know what I mean? You know, I could spit any rhyme off of whatever record that I've done. And that would be something that would be acceptable to say, like in a cipher. You understand what I'm saying? But the way these dudes, you know, the way their shit is now, you know, you'd be like, yo, spit a rhyme for me. And they'd be like, well, you know, when I go around and I sing my own. You like, you know what I mean? And you'd be like, huh? Like, yeah, baby, cause I'm so cold. Like that ain't no shit that, you know, niggas will be in a cipher like, huh? Like, what the fuck? Like, so you see what I'm saying? To me, that ain't no hip hop shit, really. That's just like little niggas that can't even really sing. First of all, a lot of these niggas can't even sing for real, but and that's what I'm saying. They're disrespecting both because they're not really rhyming and they're not really singing. What the fuck are they doing? They're making the R&B people mad and they're making the fucking rappers mad. Who are these people? The fucking mutations of hip hop and R&B, I guess, is what it is.
Right. Like a conflation of it. So Lord Jamal, so your issue is not that it lacks substance, even though that is an issue.
Well, no, that is one of the issues.
One of the issues.
Yeah.
But you're saying that it lacks, like you said, substance. It lacks a variety. You know, it's not diverse.
It lacks rules. Yeah, it lacks structure, basically. And that's that all. And see, that's part of the bullshit agenda, though, that they're pushing now. You see, we'll take the structure away from our music. We'll also take a structure away from our people. You know, you don't have to be a man or a woman, or you can be whatever. You can be a they.
That's what they say. They call it, what is it called? Non-binary. You can be whatever. You can be whatever you want.
This is non-binary hip hop, basically. Like, well, you know, we don't have to stick to the rules of such and such, blah, blah, blah. Oh, really? But then they got rules for a lot of shit. Why you can't be a part of some shit because you don't. You know what I mean? Why you can't get into that gated community? Because the rules say you can't.
But when it comes to our stuff, it should be no rules.
Right.
Right.
I'm with you. No, should be no rules for whenever it's convenient for them.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. But you know, Lord, they've been doing this for centuries. That's how they've been operating for centuries. But I want to move into a comment that you made. And I remember watching the video, you and Rod Digger, peace to Rod Digger. Love her album, Dirty Harriet, huge fan. Favorite song is Curtains off of It Family. So that was one of my bangers right there, Curtains. But you and Rod, y'all were going back and forth because you made the statement that hip hop is masculine. What did you mean by that, Lord? That hip hop is masculine?
Well, I mean, if you look at if you look at hip hop and its original themes, and its original energy, and then if you look at like R&B, right? Because to me, they're like two sides of the same coin in a way. So if you look at the themes of hip hop was really men talking to other men originally. Whereas in R&B, if a man is talking in R&B, he's usually talking to a woman. You see? So it's for women, about women. We're singing about love. In R&B, in hip hop, we was talking about, you know, how cool and fly we were as a, you know what I mean? And how flyer I am than you, my nigga. You know what I mean? Like, I got better rhymes than you, my man. Not that we was, you know, and there was a couple of females, you know, early in the game and all that, and respect to them. But you know goddamn well that most of these break dancers and MCs and DJs
were males.
Were males.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So again, it's not trying to exclude the sisters from hip hop, because sisters paved, you know, played a very substantial role in hip hop. But this was some masculine shit. This was the masculine side of black music that I feel. This is my opinion.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's the masculine side of black music, and R&B is the female side, is the feminine side. That's why you sing about love and shit over there. Right? You know what I mean? Like that's how I see it.
Well, let me ask you this, Lord. Do you feel like hip hop has become effeminized?
Well, they're trying to do that. They're trying to effeminize it. You got rappers out here wearing fucking nail polish and all of this type of shit now and acting like that shit is cool. Like, come on, that ain't never gonna be cool.
Right? And you spoke up for that. And again, I thank you for that. You were one of, like I said, you were the only one that I heard actually speak out against that. And on the movie Buck Breaking, talked about that as well. And I remember we had the premiere in Baltimore. Shout out to brother Jabari Nator of Reality Speaks. And we brought Buck Breaking to Baltimore. We premiered it like a week after it was released. And when you came on the screen and you was like, yeah, I put it into that shit, you know, with the dresses, and they would have still been running around. Everyone in like literally in the space, Lord Jamal, they fell out laughing. People was like, oh, you know, just going crazy. And family, be in the building. Speaking of the event, let me put up the flyer, Lord Jamal, so they'll know you coming to Baltimore. You know, we have a lot of love for you here, you know, in Baltimore. Let me share my screen.
I ain't even on the front. I haven't seen Buck Breaking yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh yeah, it was cool. But it was really cool.
I'm honored that Tariq hit me up to be in it. You know, from the first Hidden Colors that I saw, there it goes. I was like, damn, I want to be in one of those. Like, you know what I mean? Like I want to be the type of person that you come ask me about, you know what I mean? Like, and this is how you create things in your mind. Like, it's all about creating shit in your mind. In my mind, I wanted to be in a Tariq Nasheed movie. I didn't know it was going to be Buck Breaking. I thought it was going to be Hidden Colors, you know, whatever number. But you know what I mean? I wanted to be called upon. But the only way you're going to make that happen, it can't be just in your mind. People got to know that you are somebody that has thoughts, or somebody that's able to articulate their thoughts and all of that. And
absolutely.
At the time that I wanted to be in Hidden Colors, you know, I probably was known just for rhyming, not so much speaking. You know what I mean? Yeah, and maybe I just wasn't traveling in those circles. But fast forward, here we are.
Yes, absolutely.
Sunday, June 13th.
Sunday, June 13th. Join us, family. Lord Jamal, Dr. Wesley Muhammad, and myself. on June the 13th. All right. At I can't even see. Okay. From 1 p.m. to 6 p.m.
At the
We will be,
garage.
yes, at the garage, family. Join us here. We're going to have a good time. We're going to show buck breaking. We're going to show the film. And then after the film, there'll be a special lecture and discussion with, again, Lord Jamal, Dr. Wesley, Muhammad, and myself. So family, get your tickets. Because of COVID, I think the limit is like 200. And I remember the first time we bought Hidden Colors here, normally it's between 500 to 700 people who show up. And so we're going to be turning folks away, family. So if you are interested in coming through, get your tickets now. Get your tickets now. Okay. Because we will be turning some folks away due to COVID. All right. So Lord Jamal, I want to move into the power of hip hop music. Okay. I know that the powers that be recognize that hip hop is powerful. If you look at hip hop controls the culture. When you had the hip hop artists wear certain things, what did we go and do? We wanted to wear those things too. When they spoke certain words, they used certain phrases, we wanted to do that too. When they started promoting the teachings of Clarence Sex, we wanted to know about 5%ers and we wanted to spit it too. And so the powers that be.
And when they started wearing red rags and blue rags and shooting each other, we wanted to
do it too. No, that's a fact. That's a fact. And so the powers that be, they know this. I mean, they see it, they watch, they observe. They're very calculated folks. And so I wanted you to speak to the power of hip hop and how you've seen hip hop influence, your generation and the subsequent generations.
Well, I feel like the time we came out was a very special time because hip hop was definitely on the rise and it was going worldwide. And I actually saw the unifying factor of hip hop. Like I felt like no other music has affected the world the way hip hop has affected it. Not even rock and roll. Like rock and roll did some shit, but I feel like hip hop, just something about it is it's just so universal. Like if you really think about it, any genre of music can be incorporated into hip hop, but you can't necessarily say that about other musics. Like I'll give you an example. Like there are hip hop beats that have rock and roll elements in them. Hip hop beats have classical music, country, fucking Caribbean, like any kind of. It could be Scottish bagpipes, and a motherfucker will make a beat off of that type of shit. But you can't necessarily mix country and classical or some shit like that, or you know what I mean? Like certain shit is just not gonna mesh well. Rock and roll, and I don't know. I can't come up with a nasty combination like that, and polka or some shit. You know what I mean? Like hip hop is it seems like a universal, Japanese music you can put to hip hop. So the power of hip hop is universal, and the power it has to just get people to feel something and motivate people is great. That's why they need to try to control it and manipulate it and use it for their their forces of evil instead of allowing us to organically use it for the forces of good.
Absolutely. And we see it, like I said, we see it in the culture, and we see how influential hip hop music is. And like you said, that's why they need to control it, And it's no, I used to tell my children, it's not a coincidence that in a lot of this music that you're listening to, the rap and all of that they're promoting death culture, is money, sex, drugs, murder, money, sex, drugs, murder. And like you said, Lord Jamal, we had that. We had it, I let them know some of the stuff that I used to listen to, when I was in high school and middle school and elementary school. But like you said, we had more of a variety than what they have. They're totally inundated with sex, money, drugs, murder, and even now suicide. Some of these rappers promote, suicide, and we're seeing the number
And
of
we
teenage
never promoted no sucker shit like that back.
never,
then.
never,
Like,
never,
Like
never.
KRS said suicide. It's a suicide, but bye suicide. But he wasn't talking about him. He was talking about anybody that fucks with him. Like it's a suicide to think that you can beat him. Like that's what he was trying. He's not saying that he wants to commit suicide. Like, but these days you got songs where these motherfuckers are singing about, and I'm so sad, and I want to die, and I could take these pills and cry. Like, yo, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit, yo. For real.
What you say? Look, but you're not lying. A lot. That's what they hear.
Yo, that could be a hit record right there. What I just said right there.
It could. It would be number one. It would literally be number one. You know what? They are cracking up in the chat room. They are cracking up in the chat. But you're right, Lord Jamal. That's what it. You know. That's what they promote: sex, money, drugs, murder, and suicide. You know, and it's no coincidence that in our community now you see an increase, you know, in the partaking of all of these.
And when they talk about knowledge in this, I only speak about two artists. Go ahead, say their names.
I already know J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar.
There you go.
Yep.
Those are the only two artists they even speak of in this era that people look at as conscious. And that's ridiculous.
It is.
In our era, we had Public Enemy, fucking X-Clan, Poor Righteous Teachers, Brand Nubian.
Yes.
Fucking, you know what I mean? KRS-One, Paris, fucking, you know, like shit. Even people like Tribe Called Quest, you can consider them as like conscious in a way.
We had the Roots. We had the Roots.
I mean, come on, Erykah Badu. Like,
yes.
Like you know, like Most Def, Talib.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Come on, Wu-Tang Clan. Like
yes.
Shit. Like. Now where where are we at? Like shit is ridiculous.
No, absolutely. So I want to move into this. You know, Nas had dropped the album a few years back. I forgot what it's called. Hip Hop Is Dead. And you had Common who had the song I Used to Love Her. Mm-hmm. And so do you feel like hip hop is dead, Lord Jamal?
No, it's not dead. It's
not dead.
It's just, it's not conveniently available the way it used to be. See, I came up in a time when hip hop was rare. It was special. You could only hear it, first of all, if you knew certain people, to where you can get the tapes and all of that type of shit. Then there was a time when you could only hear it like once a week because the radio stations wasn't 24 hours a day, 7 days a week playing fucking hip hop. It was like special radio shows like Mr. Magic or the Supreme Team comes on at like Tuesday at 1 o'clock in the morning, and you got to stay up on a fucking school night, so try to even fucking tape this fucking shit. And then fast forward, now you got stations like Kiss FM and all that was playing like Red Alert and shit like that, but still that was only on the weekends. And so you had to wait for that. Like it wasn't 24 hours a day, 7 days a week shit that you have now. So we appreciated it more every time that we heard it. Now you hear it all day, every day. It's not
all day. It's
not as special. And they're trying to do that on purpose, like to make it not as special as it used to be. But what you don't hear is with the rise of all this bullshit, you don't hear the hip hop that you would really appreciate to hear. You know what I mean? Like there are artists out there that are making a type of hip hop that we can appreciate, that actually does have knowledge to it, and you know what I mean? Like my man 1159 that had and they're rhyming to the kind of beats that we can appreciate and all that type of shit. But you got to go look for it now. It's like waking up, at 1 in the morning on a Tuesday again. You know what I mean? Like it's not just going to be on the radio. It's not going to be so accessible because the bullshit's going to be accessible. You have to actually go out and do your
search for it.
search for it.
Do your due diligence.
Right. And I feel like, I might have to help make that easier for y'all. You know what I mean? Maybe I have to create some sort of platform where that's all we fuck with. Like, you know what I mean?
Straight hip hop.
Or conscious, because there's enough of the bullshit. So let's have just that place where the conscious but good music can go. Because it can't be conscious just for conscious sake. It has to be just as good as the foul shit.
Come on, talk about it, Lord Jamal.
Because there be motherfuckers out here, oh, listen to how conscious, yeah, but it's whack. Your shit is whack. You're not going to be effective if your shit is not good. No, you're not going to make people, you got to make this shit cool. When you make it cool, that's when it becomes popular. If your shit is whack, that's not going to be cool. And you can say, oh, well, we should listen to it because I'm breaking down, the book of the dead inside my rhymes. Like, ain't nobody care about that if it don't sound good. It don't make me feel good when I listen to it. Ain't nobody give a fuck what high science is that you breaking down.
And it's whack. It is whack.
And I'm for the people, and even you could be doing great things in your personal life as far as working for the community and all that type of shit. Well, I don't see you doing nothing. I got a community garden. And okay, yes, I hear you, but the music is not good. That's what I'm saying. And if we want to be effective with transmitting our message, if we want to be as effective as the negative music, then it has to be just as good, or if not better than their music.
I concur. 2000%. Because I've heard some of them, Dr. Maat, I got this, they'll tag me in some stuff. And I just say, keep on pushing, brother. Keep on pushing. What's your thoughts, Dr. Maat? Just keep on working, brother. But like you said, it's not hot. It's just not hot. I've played it for my sons and they be like, I can't bump this. This is whack. I can't bump this. So I concur with you 2000%. So I have two more questions and then I'll let you go. I see you didn't roll something through something in the air. Hey. I can dig it. Do your thing, Lord Jamal. So let me ask you this. We created hip hop, right? We created it. The world knows that we created it. Can we still consider hip hop as ours if we don't control it? We created it, but we don't control it. So is it still ours, Lord Jamal?
Yeah.
Okay, so you said it's still ours, even though we don't control it.
Listen, if you have a baby and let's say you give that baby up for adoption, is that still your baby?
Absolutely.
You don't control the baby no more. It's in the care. It's just a ward of the state and all that. But it's still your baby.
But still your baby.
You still birthed that baby. What you make, you the maker and the owner. What you make, you own. And I don't give a fuck if, I signed some papers and said this motherfucker can do this and that with it, blah, 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 blah. It's still mine. Spiritually, it has my DNA all up in the motherfucker.
Teach.
Like, because and DNA, that's what it's really about. You know what I mean? So my DNA is what makes me the owner of this shit. This is why, and my thing was never about trying to diss Eminem and all of that. My point was nobody has the right to tell us who the GOAT is. We decide who the GOAT is.
Come on.
We are the ones who tell you who our GOAT is. And our GOAT has totally different criteria
than your criteria.
What your criteria for a GOAT is. So I don't want to hear your criteria because it doesn't matter to me. You see what I'm saying? We live in different worlds. And it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? So no, not trying to harm. And I've, whatever, worked it out. It's not no beef or whatever, but
oh yeah, no doubt.
It's still true. You know what I mean? The homie Eminem admitted, you know what I mean? He said, yeah, we are guests. Okay. Boom. Case closed.
Yep. Case closed. Mm-hmm.
It's over. Fuck what we
Mm-hmm.
talking about. You know what I mean?
No, that's real talk. That's real talk. And I'm glad, like you said, that you shut that down when people, oh, he's the GOAT, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. And you was like, wait a minute. You said no. And that was yeah, you said not to us, but people will use their criteria, like you said. Oh, he sold X amount of records. Oh, he's
all the most records.
Right. Yeah, they get into all of that. Oh, he sold X amount of
true.
records. He held this spot on the billboards for X amount of time, and then that makes him, the greatest. And like you said, that's their criteria. That is not our criteria. And family, that I always talk about the importance of us being self-determining people. Kuji Chagalia, self-determining people, self-defining people. And so, thank you so much for that.
Whether we play, us playing your record at the cookout means more to us than whether you went platinum or not.
Absolutely.
Black people pulling your record out and playing it at the cookout so that we could feel good while we doing what the fuck we doing means more. That means that record means more to us than any fucking record that might have sold. You know what I mean? If it doesn't have that quality to it. Now, if it sold that much and you could play it at the cookout, well, then that's even better. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's plenty of records that didn't sell a whole bunch of fucking units that we want to hear at the cookout.
Absolutely. People in the chat, they're like, facts. Right. And so my last question to you, Lord Jamal, is this. What must be done for us to gain control over hip hop again? What must be done? What do we need to be doing right now? Do we need to be turning off the radio, boycotting certain stations, what should we be doing now to get to gain control of hip hop again?
Well, we could one of the things we can do is start supporting the type of artists that we say we want to see. We have a lot of hypocritical shit going on in our community. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll notice this, like on my channel, I'll put up a video and I'll purposely sometimes put a negative title to see what the response is going to be. Oh, click, right? And then I put up the positive title for something, and it'll literally say this. Now, I don't know if this is YouTube lying to me, trying to get me to not put up positive titles, but YouTube will say to me in my dashboard, this video is getting less interest from your regular viewers than normal. Like, as if my regular viewers, who are supposed to be the conscious ones, are not clicking on this video as much as they would the other ones. Like, so we got to really support the shit that we say we about. And the shit that we say we want to see. If we really want to take control, we find some talented motherfuckers that's on some positive shit. Yo, they want to make money just like the fucking negative dudes. We need to have mechanisms in place and all of that where, they could be getting paid and shit like that too. We got entrepreneurs who, oh, you know what? Let me sign this kid and I'm going to fucking give him a bag so he can fucking, you know what I mean? He can do what he got to do and make his shit popular, make himself look, you know what I mean, just as good as these negative motherfuckers. Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, we got to start supporting that, and I don't know if it means we got to have our own stations or stop, really you don't need record companies these days. So that's one way to take it back, is just stop signing with these fucking labels and shit like that. Stop hoping to be on a lot of these mainstream, but we need to give them alternatives. We need to give them other ways to promote, their music to people that say they want to hear, that type of music.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're saying two things. This is what I'm hearing you say. One, You're saying that we need to support the things that we say we want to hear. So we say we want to hear positive music. Then when artists are dropping positive music, we need to support them. We need to be sharing their music, streaming the music, going to the concerts.
If it's
Yeah,
good.
if it's good. Yeah, if it's good. If it's good. And so support it. And the second thing I heard you say is those positive artists, instead of running to music labels and trying to get signed, then we need to create, our own labels that are signing them, and they come, and pushing them out. Because you said at this point we don't
infrastructures where we the same way they out there trying to scoop up our fucking talent. Like we know the talent. They come to us to try to find out where the talent is at. So we already know, like we in the hood, we know the next motherfucker come, yo, little Johnny over there, that motherfucker nice, or so and so, she could sing her ass, or you know what I mean, like. We tapped into the talent and all of that. We just have to have mechanisms to, make it attractive for them to fuck with us instead of fucking with them. The only reason they fucking with them, only reason that they taking all of our fucking talent, like in sports and all of that type of shit, is because we don't have nothing to offer these guys. We don't have nothing to offer our tall brothers. You know what I mean? And so they got basketball. I was even talking to I had Shannon Briggs on my show. So we was kind of discussing about how the heavyweight division kind of fell off. And he brought up a good point that a lot of the money for the big men are in football. So a lot of guys were going to football to really make that big money, because a lot of times it was hard to get that bread in boxing. You got to take a lot more abuse to the head and all of that type of shit. And, there's no guarantee of you being a heavyweight champ. In fucking football, you could be a lineman or some shit like that and be making millions. And you know what I mean? Like, and you got a helmet on. Ain't nobody punching you in the head and shit like that. So they kind of poached from the people that would have been boxers back in the days would now go to the NFL. You see what I'm saying? So it's the similar thing. Like people that we could be getting, are going to their league instead of our league. So we got to create our own lanes, our own leagues, our own reward systems, that are comparable to what these motherfuckers are offering.
No. I couldn't agree with you more. We need our own platforms. We need our own institutions. We need our own period. And speaking of that, I was because you said I come on your chat when you're talking about health. I come on your chat when you're talking about education. That's what I do for a living.
Okay.
And that's my passion. I teach over at Morgan State University, and I'm in the process now of establishing a STEM-focused academy on the west side of Baltimore City. And so when you were bringing on, I think you had on King Randall, you had on my goodness, what's the Q Butter, and you talked about your father. You talked about that.
Father-in-law, not stepfather.
Your father-in-law. And so that's when I said, bring me on, Lord Jamal, because I wanted to get on there and talk about those institutions that we're establishing. And so, yeah, definitely. So, Lord Jamal, I know the time is winding down, and I'm saying Lord Jamal.
Okay,
like M-A-R.
I understand it's with that Baltimore accent. That's what it is.
It is. Just like when you said Brad, I said brand Nubian, because we have that two and the U, and that's how. So yes, it was. So I wasn't calling you Jamal. True. Yeah, I wasn't calling you Jamal, Jamaal. I was saying Jamal.
Still to this day, I tried to spell out my name and rhyme, and still it's like Jamal.
No. I was saying Mar, but it came out like Maul. But yeah, I was saying Jamal. But any closing words, God, for the listening audience? They love you there in the chat. Like, thanks. You're speaking facts. They appreciate you being with us tonight. Are there any closing words you have for them?
Man, just thanks for having me, sister. People, if you enjoy, me speaking, then go, if you haven't already, go subscribe to my channel on YouTube, Godcast, or become a patron on my Patreon. That's patreon.com/Dayz. You know what I mean? And yeah, you know, we do interviews, and we speak our mind, and we strive to make knowledge born.
Absolutely. And you bring on some wonderful guests. I mean, I think yesterday you had Mike Geronimo on.
Yeah.
I was in the car listening to
That was a great
that interview. Yes,
that was a great one.
yes, I mean, he just talked about everything, you know, everything that he went through, his struggles. He talked about being married, starting his own business now, you know, his
Right.
children. So it was
And
just a wonderful.
now watch this, right? Watch what I'm gonna do. Watch.
Mhm.
Now, this first of all, if you want to see full segments immediately, become a patron on Patreon. You can go see the Mike Geronimo interview right now. See, on YouTube, it's not up right now. You can't see it. You're gonna have to wait for me to put out the clips, and then later I'll put out the full thing on YouTube. But if you want to see these interviews in their entirety immediately, you become a patron. That being said, the segment where he talks about being a locksmith, right? How he become a locksmith, right? You heard when he said
Yes, I heard that. Yeah,
right.
I heard about that.
So this is how I'm going to title the fucking episode, and watch how many fucking clicks we get on this.
I already know. I'm ready.
Mike Geronimo on moving keys after his career.
Oh yeah, that's gonna go play. Yeah, they're gonna click on that.
On pushing keys or something to that effect.
They're gonna click on it. They're gonna click on it.
No, on selling keys.
They're gonna click on it.
Mike Geronimo on selling keys after hip hop. There we
After
go.
hip hop. Oh
There we
yeah, they're
go.
gonna. Oh, that's gonna be 20,000 views. Like
what? Mike Geronimo was selling keys.
Like
and
this.
then when they find out he has a locksmith business. But see, if I name it Mike Geronimo on having a locksmith business after hip hop, nobody's gonna click on it.
Oh
And
no,
fucking hypocrisy that I'm talking about. Like, everybody should click on that. That's fucking interesting to me.
It's beautiful.
That's
It's
super
beautiful.
interesting to me. This man, just went totally away from the hip hop shit and became and had his own locksmith business, like getting awards and shit from the city, like at that high level doing it. Like, come on, like, that's great, but no, y'all not gonna let me put up a title like that. You're gonna have to make me insinuate that he might have been moving keys of cocaine
in order to get views.
In order for you to see that the man's doing something positive. And that's just fucking crazy. But
it is crazy.
I'll play the game. You know what I mean? I'll play the game. And
but it speaks to where our people are right now, and what they're and I'm not saying all of our people, but it does speak to where our folks are, that they gravitate, like you say, to the negativity. But that all of that's tied to trauma and all of that. So we don't even got to get into breaking the chains of psychological slavery and all of that. But we really have to heal. I do know that is a symptom of our trauma being, tied to fighting. If someone starts fighting, people will run because they want to see what's going on. They're just drawn to the drama. And so I think that is definitely a symptom of our trauma. So sincere love to God. He said, how can we get music to y'all? I know that this brother has tagged me in some stuff on Instagram, and Lord Jamal, I think he's fire. But he said, how can he get some music to you?
You think who's fire? Sincere love?
I think sincere love. Yeah, I like the stuff that he tags me in. I think it's hot. Have you heard of him, or you've never heard of him?
No, I've never heard of him.
Okay, so he said
Avatar though. His avatar looks cool.
Yeah, so he said, how can he get some music to you? Do you want him to email it?
I mean, you can send it to Godcast@gmail. You could do that.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. I know that he's definitely a huge fan, and I wanted to make sure that I
hell of a critic though.
Yeah, that's what I said. It may be fired. I was gonna say it may be fired to me, and you might listen to it, right?
You gotta be sure. And don't be like, please tell me whatever. I can take it. Nigga, I hate that man. That nigga Lord Jamal, man, motherfucker. He told me my shit was wang, and that motherfucker. Fuck who the fuck he think he is? That nigga.
No, people got to be able to take constructive criticism, though, Lord. You know, but some people can't handle it. Some people can't. Some people can't handle it.
Told me my shit sound like some shit from 1982. I said, what the fuck, nigga, that motherfucker.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Lord Jamal, thank you so much again, you know, just for taking time out to come on the platform tonight. I look forward to meeting you in person on June the 13th. I know you're going to come down and rock the house. And it was funny. I caught what you said when I was in the chat. He's like, yeah, I'm on there with all these, you know, doctors. You said it is. You said it did. Here I come, you know. And so you're there. You're a legend. You're a legend, Lord Jamal. You know, and so you have every right to be right there, you know, with us in these documentaries that are coming out. You've earned that, you know, and you are a legend in itself. And so, again, I thank you so much, brother, for coming on. And I look forward to seeing you in Baltimore on the 13th.
Likewise, sister. Likewise. Thank you for having me.
No problem, brother. Peace and love.
Peace.
Let's combat and fight back with tracks. The war of the minds, they want control of the masses. And Common Core, they dumb us down in the classes. Without knowledge, we can't gain access. Build with the elders, take notes and write classics. We keep whining on the block, how it's gonna stop? Let's start supporting our own, make their supply drop. We buy stocks, then we buy blocks. Cause we know the truth and we tuned in to Dr. Maat.